Hello, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Cheers Love, Overwatch League fan retrospective podcast. I'm your host, Samson, also known as @SamsonXP on all the socials. And today I'm joined by another guest who is joining us all the way from, I'm actually not sure. I'll let them introduce themselves. But today we are joined by Nico. Nico, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm from New Hampshire. It's okay if you don't know where that is. It's a very small state. I like to just tell people I'm from Boston to like cut out the confusion because Boston's like an hour away from me, so it's like the closest landmark that I'm like, okay, people are gonna know where that is.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is Boston a state? I thought it was a city, or
Oh yeah,
I don't know
city.
my
But
U.S. geography. Yeah,
yeah, no,
it's a state.
it's a city, but it's like the closest like landmark city that I can be like,
Totally.
okay, like if you don't know where New Hampshire is, you're gonna know where Boston is, and I'll just be like, I'm from Boston.
Totally. No, that makes sense. Like everyone says they're from Vancouver, but really they're from like Surrey, which is like 40 minutes from Vancouver or
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah, like it happens all around the world. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Toronto as well. So
Yeah.
Nico, welcome to the show. On this show, we just talk about what fans' experiences were like in the past 6 years. Now that Overwatch League is gone, I put this show out there to maybe do a little retrospective on what some of the best moments are, and to get them straight from the fans and immortalize them forever.
Yeah.
So, a couple questions for you. What is your claim to fame?
So
What are
my
you?
thing,
Yeah, sorry, go for it.
what am I most known for? So I guess that would probably be a Homestuck fan fiction I wrote back in like 20. Yeah.
Whoa.
for,
Okay.
for a
Crazy
very,
tangent.
yeah, for a very niche, like, yeah, I'm not like people in Overwatch probably have no idea who I am unless we've hung out. But yeah, no, in like the early 2010s, I want to say it was like 2014. I was working on a very popular fan fiction for a very niche ship and probably problematic ship. Uh, and that
It's
was
like,
kind of like my claim to fame. Like I checked Tumblr. Sorry to cut you off. But
no,
I
all good.
checked Tumblr like a couple months ago, and someone had drawn fan art of my fic that I never saw before, and I'm like, oh my
Wow.
god, yeah. So that was exciting. So I guess
That
that would be my claim to fame if I had to like say something.
I mean, that is still famous. Like,
Oh yeah,
nobody has done fan art for Grow Up Level Up. Just throwing that out there.
if I
But
could try,
like,
I probably would have, but
it's all good. It's all good. But that's cool. I've heard of Homestuck. I have no idea what it's about. All I know is
no
there
one
is a lot of
does.
fan fiction and shipping going on.
Yeah.
So that's
Oh
awesome
yeah.
that you're able to cut through that in a competitive niche, I guess, competitive
Yeah,
industry.
yeah, it was pretty like I wouldn't say that I was like I don't think my fic ever showed up on like a recommend, and maybe it did and I just never saw it, but it was definitely like one of those like every week in my emails I'd be like deleting like AO3 like you just got kudos, someone bookmark, someone left a comment. Like
Mm,
it was just like for a good like year and a half, I want to say it was like just like a
wow.
constant like yeah.
Hustling. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
So enough
Generating
about
money.
Homestuck. I know that's
Yeah.
like a whole other fandom. I want to talk a
Yeah,
bit
no,
about
that's a completely different podcast. That would take hours.
totally. I want to talk a little bit about Overwatch. How'd you get into Overwatch the game? How'd you find out about that game?
So I found out about it because a lot of my friends played the beta, and at the time I
Mm.
only had a MacBook. Like I had a MacBook Pro, and that was all I had. But my friends were constantly posting about the beta, constantly posting about the beta. When the beta shut down, they were all really sad. And then when the game came out, I went to a friend's house and I played it on their PS4, and that was like my first time playing Overwatch was on console, and then I got a PC in like 2017 when the Uprising event, the first one, the Archives one, when
Hmm.
that the Archives Uprising event, that was when I bought my PC, and I was like, an extra $60 isn't gonna throw me like into any worse debt that I'm already in, so like let's just buy Overwatch.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
yeah, it was
there's
just
got to
like
be a
one of
term
those
for
things.
that.
Oh yeah, no, like the stars kind of like aligned because it was like, oh, I need to get a PC for this job I'm looking into anyway. May
Uh,
as well just get Overwatch in like the meantime. And so I, yeah, it was like in
awesome.
between. Yeah, it was like in between
Okay,
jobs for a little while. And
so you've been in
Overwatch
it
was
for a long time. Yeah,
oh yeah,
been in it
yeah,
for a long time. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's how you got into the game. How'd you get into the league? Because the league is like a pretty big spin-off from the actual game.
Yeah, so at the time I had some friends that like I was playing with regularly. And then like it wasn't quite the league yet. I want to say it was like APAC where like they had like, C9 was like one of the teams and like the big like organization teams. And
Mm.
I think they called it Contenders. I honestly don't remember too well, but I think now they like refer to it as like APAC or something like that. But
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
getting the lingo like kind of confused. But my friends and I would watch like a little bit of that. And then I just kind of like I was like, oh, I'm not like super into this. So I kind of like stopped watching. The skins got added to the game and I was like scrolling through the teams and I'm like, oh, there's Boston, and then just didn't pay attention to it. I bought the Spark skin for Moira because I liked the colors of that team the most. And then I just didn't think about Overwatch League again until like I want to say like 2020, either 2020 or 2021. I caught like 2020 I caught glimpses of matches and like desk talk and stuff, but then 2021 was when my friend, one of my best friends, he like sat me down at his house and was like, we're gonna watch it, like we're the only two friends in our friend group who actually enjoy playing Overwatch anymore. You're gonna watch this
Oh,
with me. I think you really like it.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then yep.
Oh, okay, cool. So you
Yes.
weren't like in the league from the very, very beginning, but you kind
No,
of
no, I'm
you kind of came back to it in the middle of it.
Yeah, yeah, I'm a little bit of a baby in that way because I was just like it was one of those things where like I knew it was happening and like one of my friends would tell me like how Boston was playing and stuff like that, but I like didn't really follow it super closely until like
Hmm.
2021. I caught the Bread Bowl
Oh
where it
yeah,
was like
Titans.
Vancouver, yeah, yeah, Vancouver and London, and then I like after that the grand finals happened, and then I went back through that season to watch because I'm just looking at it and I'm like, how does a team not win a single freaking game this entire time? I'm like, I gotta
That was
know.
an era. That was for sure
Yeah,
an era. It was
yeah,
crazy.
I'm
Like
like, I
in
gotta
the
know.
grand scheme of things, yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it's like okay, like it's a pandemic and everyone's like shutting down. But like, oh man, I can't believe the one Vancouver team can't get a win. But you know,
I know.
by God,
Yeah, no. I think they did win the Bread Bowl though. I think maybe I'm
they
wrong.
August 14th or 17th or something. That was one of them.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
I think yeah. And I
so
as I like oh sorry, but like, yeah, so like as
it's
I
all
like
good.
watched through the season, I'm like, oh, I like Vancouver. Like Vancouver, I like them. They're in my top 10, but they're like just shy of
Perfect.
the top 5. Like, but I
Ah,
I respected
mm,
that they were just like, especially that season, they were playing heroes that they liked. They would seem to be more off meta than everybody else, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I respect that. You'll get
yeah,
added, and plus I like the Canucks for hockey, so I'm like, okay, this will
perfect. Love it. You a hockey
exactly.
fan too?
I am, yeah.
Perfect.
Boston Bruins and Vancouver
There's
Canucks are like
there's
my
that,
two.
yeah, there's that rivalry.
There's that
That
rivalry, and then that riot happened, and I'm like, you know what, Vancouver, you're coming with me.
that was crazy too. That was a whole other thing.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So you kind of name dropped a couple of names already, like Vancouver, Boston. Was it Spark as well? What teams did you end up cheering for the entire time?
So throughout my like my number one with a bullet is Toronto Defiant, hands
Mm,
down number one. Tied with that is Boston, but that's more of like a recent development. I didn't really like, not that I didn't like Boston, but I'm just like, I've grown up in New England my whole life. I've always followed Boston teams. I want to follow like different teams this time. And so, but then they hired Bird Ring, and I'm like, well, fuck, now I have. Now
yeah,
you're
yeah.
forcing my hand here. LA Gladiators were a big one for me when I first started watching. That was like the only team that I let my friends kind of tell me like you are rooting for them.
Mhm.
Houston Outlaws I chose because all my friends support Dallas, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna go with like if you're not gonna let me root for Shock so I can have you regret getting me into this, I'm gonna root for the other team you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
don't
yeah.
like, so you can regret me getting into this. And then Florida Mayhem, I kind of picked up in 2021 when I was watching because I'm like, I liked their style. I don't know, there was just like something about them. The colors were nice, and I'm
Hmm.
like, there's just something about this team. And then 2022, opened the season with an illegal maneuver, and I'm like, that's it, you're
That was
locked in.
hilarious. That was
Yeah.
hilarious. I almost forgot about that. Yeah, climbing over the wall on Circuit Royal.
Yep, yep. So I'm a big meme person. So like when that happened, I'm like, you know what? Like I already liked them before, but now it's official. Like you are mine. But Toronto Defiant was like my. They were
Awesome.
like, yeah, they were like my number one. Like as I was going back and like watching old games, I'm like, I just love watching these guys play. Like I don't know. Like there was just like synergy there. They're mid, but I'm like, you know what? Mid recognizes mid, so they were locked
Yeah.
in.
No, that's awesome. I mean, you gotta have one that you stand for. Like, doesn't matter if
Oh,
they win or lose. Like, I'm a Titans fan, man. Like, part of it is I also live here, but
yeah,
you gotta stick with you gotta at least stick with one, or else you really are a bandwagoner.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I can say I
uh,
was there when Toronto
yeah.
was number 3 at Summer Showdown.
Yeah. Hey, they were almost there.
Yep.
What players do you like cheering for the most? You name dropped a few already, but is there
Yeah,
like a
I named.
top three or yeah?
Yeah, Yeah, there's a top 3. Pelican is definitely number 1. His rookie year was like my first year watching, so I kind of look at it as like, oh, we were both rookies, ha ha ha. But like he just like impressed me. Like he would like all my friends joke that Dante is my favorite player, and I just sit there and go like shake my head. No, Pelican is my favorite. Like I just
Pelican. Okay, interesting.
like there's Pelican. I love watching him. Like when he pops off. Bird Ring is another one that was like he was a favorite. Like when he was on Glads. Like I liked him and Kevster on like the like the DPS line, but Bird Ring I'm like I'm gonna latch on to you, and then Hisu is from Defiant is well
Mm.
when he was on Defiant is
Where is
because
Hisu
unfortunately
now? Where was he this year?
he I want to say he was
Spring break.
on Dynasty, or he was on one of the
Huh.
the East region
Oh, okay.
teams. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's what yeah, I don't keep up with East region too much because like the
Same.
games
We
are
live here.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like the games are on ridiculously early. So like at the time, like last season when I watched, like, it was kind of easier because I was getting up super early in the morning. So it's like as I was getting ready for work, I'm like,
Cool.
oh, let's throw on the game. But now it
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
my hours are different, and I'm like, I don't want to get
Totally.
up that early.
Yeah, that's one tricky thing about this global league idea is the Eastern
Yeah,
Western thing, unfortunately.
yeah, the time
But
zones. Yep, mess me
so
up. Can I swear on here? I don't. Probably should have asked
sure,
after.
whatever. Go for it.
Fix it in
So what are
post.
some of your favorite experiences because of the league?
Um, so a lot of them were at live events. Like I mean, like my favorite experiences have been going to like like I've gone to a couple Boston watch parties, and those were like both of them were fantastic. Like the crowd was really great. Like everyone that goes there was super cool. I got to go to the last one that I went to with one of my best friends. So like having that connection with him has been like really nice. Like, cause like he started dating my best friend, and it was like, well, I don't really know how to like interact with you outside of games. But then like once he like showed me the league, it was like, okay, like we can bond over this as well as like, whatever we're doing in Dungeons and Dragons or like whatever. So like watching the games with them with like my two best friends has been like just incredible. Like just sitting on their couch and like seeing Nero lock in attack Torbjorn my very first time that he was like you gotta watch this game, and I'm like okay, and then freaking Nero insta-locks attack Torbjorn, and I just looked at my friend and I'm like, what is this? Like why should I watch this if I get attacked Torbjorn in my own matches? So that was like that was
No,
that
that's
was
awesome.
fun.
That's yeah, like watching games with your friends is such a huge
Yeah.
one.
Oh
Were you
yeah.
watching in person as well, like
Oh
on
yeah.
a
I went
TV
to
or
some.
on Discord?
So I went to Summer Showdown. Yeah, I would watch on like on my TV. I went to
Yeah.
Summer Showdown last year,
Oh no way,
and
me
that
too.
yeah, we
Uh,
like run into each other because that's where I met
Probably, yeah.
Mario and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
But last year it was fun because like I have like really bad time management. So I would just show up at the venue incredibly early. Like I want to say the first day I got there at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like,
I feel like the
I
games
was
didn't
like,
start till 1 or something, right?
but I'm like, well, I'm already down here. Like, I may as well just like, I got breakfast. I got my Tim Hortons. That was
Nice,
yummy.
nice.
Yeah, I got like my Canadian experience, but I'm like, and I was like, well, I'm like, maybe like, can I go in here? And I saw people coming and going because it's got like the whole like sports arena and stuff, or like the gym upstairs. So I'm like, okay, well,
Hmm.
people are coming in and out, so maybe I can just like go in there. And then I'm on the first floor, and I walked up to the second floor because I wasn't really sure where the line was. And then they let me get my badge, and like, because I was fan zone for both. I went to both Summer Showdown and Grand Finals, and I was fan zone for both. But they let me get my badge early, and they were like, "But you just have to wait downstairs." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool." So I'm sitting down there by where like the escalators are, and there's this guy and this chick that are just like walking around me, and they keep looking at me, and I'm like kind of looking at them like, what's going on? Like, am I supposed to be here? Like, I'm like kind of like, oh, maybe I should, like, maybe I'll go get a second breakfast.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
so like eventually they come over to me, and I'm like, oh, sorry, like, if you don't want me in here, like, they just told me to stand down here, but I can leave. And it turns out that the chick was the social media manager for Defiant at the time. I think that was Artemis when it was last
Artemis,
year.
yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So it turns out that was Artemis. And I don't keep up with like social media managers,
Yeah, it's
coaches,
like a
anything like
niche
that.
within a niche, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots
I'm
of
like, just show
niches.
me the players, show me the teams, and that's it. So like she was like, oh yeah, like I'm the social media manager for Defiant. I just had to get confirmation, but like you're the first fan in the building.
Woo,
Like,
nice.
do you mind if we take your picture for our socials? And so like she gave me I got a banner, like I got one of the Toronto Defiant banners. They didn't give me a scarf because I already had one from Fan Zone. And then they gave me like a Defiant branded hockey stick and hockey puck. So I basically got like a
Whoa.
bunch of I got free merch, and I was like on their socials. I was like so excited because I was just like, oh my God, all I'm missing now is a jersey. Like, I just saved so much freaking money. Hell yes.
I mean,
Um,
I never even seen like a cool hockey stick like that as well.
oh yeah, no, I'll take a
It's
picture
pretty
when I go back home. Like
sure,
I
yeah,
have it.
yeah. Maybe we'll
Yeah,
edit it into the thing, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
If
that's
it's just like
awesome.
it's like this like branded, like it says like like the puck says Summer Showdown, and it's got like the Defiant logo and stuff on it. And so like I start talking to the guy that she's with for a long time, and I like he's asking me about like my experience with the league, and I'm like, oh, I've only been following it for like a year. And they're like, well, you're a new fan, and like all this stuff, and like, who's your favorite team, and like, like the
Hmm.
general questions. Talk to him for a little bit. I go inside, like, like hours later, I'm walking inside, and I've met someone in line, and like we're talking. And it turns out that guy I was talking to was a Vast. And I had no
Oh,
idea.
yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. Like, new fan, like, newly into like the community, had like haven't gone back to watch like old stuff. So I had no idea who this guy was. He was just some dude. And like my
Yeah.
friend was, because I see people in line to meet him, and I pointed to the guy I was talking to. I'm like, who is that? And they were like, oh, that's a Vast. He's like, old commentator, like yada yada.
He
And I
was
was
on
like,
Boston at one point, yeah.
yeah. And I'm just like, oh, I thought he was an intern. Like, following
Avast, if you're
Artemis.
listening to this, intern to manager or whatever now. Congrats.
I was like, oh my God, I thought he was like an intern or like an assistant, because he's just like walking with Artemis. So like I have no context for who he is. He must be her assistant.
That's awesome. No,
That
that's
was
great.
that was slightly embarrassing, but it was really fun. He was like, I think I did end up telling him, like, I waited in line, and I was like, well, I have to get a picture with you for clout now that I know you're important. But
Yeah, yeah. That's
I was
amazing. That's
like,
an amazing story.
yeah, he was like, I thought you were an intern, and he's like, sometimes I am, and I'm like, oh.
Aw. Maybe it's like I still do some intern things, but no, that's awesome. That's a great memory. That's a great
Yeah.
experience.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was nice. Like little moments like that where I got to like, like meet like I got to like, I talked to Leg Day and Nikki, not Nikki. I got talked to Leg Day and Lemon for a little while. That was fun because like they're my two favorite, like they're my favorite duo for like
Hmm.
commentating, like two of them anyway. Vicky and Necra really sold it for me during the Boston matches, but yeah, but I don't know, like it was just nice being able to like meet them and have them be like kind of cool. Like I smoked out in the street with Danny one morning.
Oh wow.
Like, yeah, like he was just out smoking a
Small
cigarette
world.
and I was hitting my vape, so I was like, "Hey, what's up?" like, like this was
Small
last
worlds.
year.
Like
Yeah, no,
I th- I think that's what makes Overwatch League so special. Is it's like it's such a tight community and so small that you
yeah.
get these interactions with like people who are doing their job, but it's a job that they're passionate about. It's not
Yeah,
just
exactly.
yeah.
And like the passion really shows through. Like especially like, like for the desk and like the commentary and stuff, like
Hmm.
part of why like I like watching Necra and Vicky and Lemon so much because when they get the hype in their voice, like as they're doing the play by play, I am right there with them, like on the
Yeah,
edge of
getting
my
hyped.
seat, like yeah, exactly. And it just like kind of like builds into each other, and it's like, and it you can tell that they're passionate about what they're talking about. And
Totally.
like the community of fans too have been like probably some of like the coolest people I've ever met. Like they're just like there's no gatekeeping, there's no like, because like like I've met so many people, like between the like last year at Toronto and this year in Toronto, and it's like when they ask like they ask the general questions, and it's just like, yeah, like I've really only been watching it for like maybe like 2 years, like a year and a half, 2 years at most, but like no one acts like that's not normal. Like they like it's still like a very welcoming, like it's a welcoming, and it's just like, oh, like you've only been following our team for like this many years, well come here, let's celebrate the team together, kind of a thing. And it's
That's
like
awesome.
I feel like in a lot of like I feel like in a lot of fandoms or like fan communities and stuff, like there is like a little bit of a gatekeep for some, like like some people have like a gatekeep in like anime or like video games or like other like sports and stuff. But it's just kind of nice that like, at least in my experience, like generally the Overwatch League community, it has been probably some of like the coolest, down to earth, like incredibly nice people that I've ever got to meet. And
No, I can totally echo that. That's been my experience as well. Like, compared to a lot of other experiences I've had with entering fandoms or other games, there's a lot of gatekeeping on like, I don't know,
yeah,
yeah, how long you've been a fan or something, or like
yeah,
you don't even know this knowledge. And Overwatch has always been open with that. Of course, you get the bad apples. Can't say
yeah, oh yeah,
everyone is like that, but majority of folks that are into the Overwatch League or into Overwatch are there to like experience with you, especially the in-person stuff. I feel
oh
like
yeah,
when I went to Summer Showdown last year, everyone like was there to make friends. Everyone was there to like it
yeah,
felt like a family, even though we've never
it
met
really
before.
did. Yeah, exactly. And it's just like it's like it's a bit. You're right. It's like a familiar. It's like a familial bond, and like when I got to meet like Mario and Dutchie and Meg and like
Yeah,
so
yeah.
many like really cool people. It's like it was like they were just like immediately, oh, you like Defiant? Okay, you're coming with us. You're in our little posse now. Like, because like I like me and Mario, when I met him, like I don't even think we really had like a full conversation. Like it was just like one of those things where like we walked in to like put our stuff down, and then like just kind of like nodded at each other, and like from there was just like, hey, how are you? And then like by the end of the tournament, like we're hanging out in the middle of the street, and like
Totally, totally.
yeah,
Yeah, no, it's real. Like this kind of like
yeah.
friendliness is real in the Overwatch community.
It really
So
is.
yeah, sorry, finish your thought.
Oh no, I was just
Oh,
gonna
okay.
say like it really is, and like you wouldn't expect that, especially from like how toxic the like match chat can be. But
Yeah,
but it's very nice.
yeah, online gaming. It's toxicity in online gaming, whole other issue. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, we should all strive to be better. I'm victim of being the toxic one too, right? But it's
Yeah.
something we can all work on.
Yeah.
For you, like, what is your hope for the future of Overwatch esports? When we're recording this, just context, we don't know what is going on for next year's Overwatch esports, whether it's called Overwatch League or what the teams are doing. We're seeing what happens every year where teams release players, release staff. we're seeing some people stick on, even though there's been no official plan released. For you, Nico, what is your dream for Overwatch esports in the future?
I would like to see it continue only because I want to go to more lands. Only going to 2 is like, that's just not enough for me. Like, it's,
Yep.
we gotta be more. I just got it. Like, I just became a fan of Boston. So, like, I want to, go down to those watch parties and, like, hang out with those people that I met down there too. And so, like, I would love to see it continue in some form, whether it's called Overwatch League or like Overwatch League 2 Electric Boogaloo. I would just very much like to see it like just keep going. I would like to see like I know that like Boston released their roster like released their players a little like I think last week or the week before, but
Yeah, pretty recently,
I
yeah.
yeah, I'd like to see Bird Ring stick with the league only because like it just feels so bad that like he was out for 2022 and then came back for 2023 and it might not even happen in 2024.
Yeah.
So
And he's
like
been
I will
around
follow.
forever.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I'll follow him like wherever he goes, but I'll keep like I'll keep an eye on him whatever team he ends up with. But I would like to see him continue to play. Um, I'd like to see Kevster continue to play too. Like I know that Gladiators, I think, was like one of the first teams that were like, yeah, we don't want, like, we're not coming back. But I would like to see those play like all the players. I would love to see just like keep in the league. Like I know Dante has already said that he retired, but and I think a couple others have
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah, like to just see it continue, see these watch
yeah,
parties. Like, don't let the community die because the community's still
no,
passionate.
exactly.
It's just the
Yeah, like
money, the money part, right? Yeah.
even if it's not like even if like they don't do like the lands in like an official capacity, just like having I don't know like having like leaving it up to the fans to like generate like their own like kind of like we'll host it here kind of a thing would be, or like not the fans but like the organizations or whatever, like I don't know, like I would just I don't want it to end pretty much. Like I like the speech, like which is sad because then those speeches would be kind of like null and void, and they were really heartfelt and nice. But I
Yeah,
just
yeah, that was
like
intense. Yeah,
it's just like it's too soon to say goodbye for at least for me because like like I've only been watching it for a couple years, and so but like those like the last couple years have just been like incredible, and it's like
totally,
if I could just keep watching because like watching this game that I love with the people I love, seeing players that I like, and like teams that I love, like that would just like I would like to see it keep growing and become
totally.
something more.
Me too. Me too.
Imagine
So
like I imagine you've asked that question a lot, and I imagine everyone's probably said the same.
everyone says something a little different. I
Yeah.
recommend if you're listening to this, check out the other episodes as they come up. But yeah, everyone's answers are a little different. For me, I would love to see a league that like can make money. I think the biggest
Yeah.
issue was like this league had well, it's not all esports, but yeah, like all esports are having trouble like
Yeah.
finding money and
Generating the
all that.
revenue.
Generating revenue, that's the word.
Yeah.
But so hopefully like esports figure something out.
Yeah.
Part of it's on us too. We gotta spend money, but that's a topic for another time. Okay, as we close out, actually no, before we close out, I got two more questions. What is your hope for the future of the game?
Oh God, that's a loaded question. My hope for the continuing of the game, and this is a long shot, I would like to see Mercy no longer get nerfed. I just want her to be
Oh,
stable and happy. I would just leave her
that's a
alone,
good one.
please.
That's a good one.
Please stop nerfing the love of my life. No, but like in all seriousness, that's a hard one for me because like playing the game myself lately has been kind of like at like not like like it's been like a just like I don't know, like it hasn't really been, it's not as fun as it used to be, and I don't know really where that is, if it's like the people I'm playing with or if it's like like just like how bad it feels when you lose, or it's like it might be like a couple of different things, but I would like to see something like I think the thing that would get me into Overwatch again, like playing it more frequently, like the way I did years ago, would probably be if they brought back Hanamura
Hell yeah.
as like one of the new match styles that they like one of like the new map style that they have, the Flashpoint, I think it's called.
Yep,
Like
Flashpoint.
I would like that would make me throw money at the battle pass in an instant, because I like that's my favorite map. The only reason I miss 2CP is because I missed that map.
Yeah, that map's
Um,
really beautiful. Yeah.
yeah,
That
and it
getting into the nitty gritty of it, I feel like they could bring 2CP back. I feel like it's been long enough. I feel like people relearned how to play the game, and it'd be interesting to see how people play Overwatch 2 now in 2CP. I don't know, I'm eating my words because I am a 2CP hater, but I kind of miss it, and I want to see what it's like. So Hanamura especially, right?
I don't miss, like, it's weird because like I don't miss 2CP very much, but I miss those maps. So if they could figure out how to like make like, you know, some type of like reconvert them into like a push map or a flashpoint map, or like
Control point, yeah.
yeah, control point or something like that. I would like to see that, but yeah,
Did,
no more mercy nerfs is my big one. I would like to I would like, I don't know, like this one might be a little like controversial too, but like part of like what I liked about Overwatch is that I'm like, I suck at video games. I'm just gonna be honest about that. But like what the appeal of Overwatch was, it was like there was no like real like skill level cap. But lately it kind of feels like even like support heroes, like they're more gear like they're more like, not that they're more suitable for DPS, but it just feels like you gotta like come from DPS to like play support now, and it,
mm,
I don't know, like I would like to see it kind of like balance back to like your skill level doesn't matter, like, you know, you can pick up any hero and be decent, and so I'd
yeah,
like to see kind of like a return to form in that way.
maybe you're just getting too good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh,
thank you for the flattery, but I'm gonna shut that down. I
all
need a
good,
big
all
ego.
good. Well, as we close out the episode, we touched on a lot of topics, but I need to ask you one more thing. What
Sure.
is your message to the world?
My message to the world is good luck, have fun. Like, no matter what you do, it should be good. I hope it brings you great fortune, and I hope you're having fun with it. Like, don't get stuck doing something that's not fun, that you don't love. Even if it's like, you know, a soul-sucking retail job, try to find something about it that can like, or like even like find like a different soul-sucking retail job that
That
like
you're
I worked
having fun in, yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like I worked for Best Buy for a couple years, and like, you know, yeah, that was soul-sucking retail, but it was the fun type of soul-sucking retail. So, yeah,
Awesome.
try
Awesome.
to
Yeah.
have fun.
I think that's a very beautiful way to interpret that GLHF, good luck, have fun message that people like to type online, and bring that into real life, right? Like, life is short. Find something where you're having fun and it's good for you. So I love that. Beautiful. Uh, well, audience, thank you so much for listening in on this episode of Cheers Love. If you can really, if you really like this episode, please, if you can, leave a comment below, or leave a comment or a thumbs up. If you really, really loved this episode, please consider subscribing, whether it's on podcasts or YouTube. You can find me at Samson XP on all the socials. You can find at Grow Up Level Up as well on all the socials, and I recommend you check out our other shows, including the Grow Up Level Up interview series and You Gulu, the series where we talk about life and life skills and tips and tricks that I host with my friend Sam. Nico, where can people find you?
You can find me at Yuri Boat on pretty much everything. I think that's even like, yeah, that's my Discord, that's my Twitter. I think that's my, I don't think it's my Tumblr, but
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah.
If you can find those Homestuck fanfics, good
Oh
for you.
yeah. Yeah, my AO3, I want to say it's like neat. God, what I don't even remember what my AO3
It's all
is
good.
anymore.
We'll
It's been a
link
little
it into
while.
the description below if we can figure it
All
out.
right,
But
sounds
audience, thank you.
good.
Yeah, audience, thank you so much for joining us today. And we hope you check out the other stuff on Grow Up Level Up. And we'll catch you next time. See ya.